with that, hello, hello, hello. My name is Natasha Nurse. I'm the owner and co-founder of Dressing Roommate, a coaching and consulting business dedicated to women entrepreneurs, women creatives, women authors, women looking to be badass as much as possible every single chance they get. And ultimately, by creating this business, I've been able to further my own badassness and my abilities, and it's been a really fun ride. And today is going to be one of the opportunities that I'm really excited to be a part of because I created it, right? It's my own. As a content creator, we have to come up with things that we want to do and hopefully inspire and motivate the world. And for me, I have struggled with self-love in my life, and I definitely know for many women who I've coached, women I've worked with, women I've been friends with, they too have had their issues with self-love and am I enough? Am I worthy? Right? All of these things. So let's, instead of just kind of having these questions just superfluously just pass through our mind and then maybe deal with it later, like let's tackle it today. So I came across a really cool article, a Huffington Post article, and if anyone ever wants any of my articles, just write in the comments and I'm happy to share. Sharing is caring. And so this Huffington Post article, it's entitled 5 Science-Backed Reasons It's Important to Love Yourself. 5 reasons, and we're going to get right through them. 1, accepting yourself can make you happier. 2, it can encourage you to reach your health goals, definitely. 3, self-compassion may help with mental health issues. 4, it can push you to stop procrastinating. Hells yeah. And 5, loving yourself can lead you through adversity. Definitely. When it gets rough and tough out there, as my aunts like to say. Having a high self-esteem, having a high sense of self-worth really can make the difference. So first of all, when we talk about self-love, right, if we're going to do a 7-day challenge, I think it's important. And I'm going to go through, this concept as well as what the challenge is. So just bear with me. If you are watching this on the live, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're watching this on the replay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, comments, questions, all in the comment section so that this can be conversational, okay? So what is self-love? Is it something that we can buy? Is it something we find at the gym? Is it something hidden in our bed? Is it something in our closet? What exactly is this? So a great resource, if you're not already looking and checking out the content they put out there, is Psychology Today. Like even Damon John referred to Psychology Today in his Rise and Grind book I just read for the Dressing Roommate Book Club, which I will share that link for anyone who's looking for books on personal development. I have several to recommend. So Psychology Today article, it's entitled A 7-Step Prescription for Self-Care by Deborah Kosheba. I apologize if I say her name wrong. So she says it very articulately. I love it. Self-love is not simply a state of feeling good, which sometimes people define it as, right? She says it is a state of appreciation of oneself that grows from actions that support our physical, psychological, and spiritual growth. Deep stuff. She says it's dynamic. She says it grows by actions that mature us. And then she goes on to say, when we act in ways that expand self-love in us, we begin to accept much better our weaknesses as well as our strengths. And the article, again, A 7-Step Prescription for Self-Love by Deborah Kosheba. And with that, so we talk about, okay, so self-love, it's not something you can buy. Self-love is definitely not something found in the gym. Self-love is a process, I think, is how you can take her definition, right, from that Psychology Today article. I think self-love is a journey. I think it's a journey that's self-described by ourselves as to what we need. What I need for self-love is different from what you need from self-love. And that's why we're taking the next 7 days to break out different components of it. Because for me, there have been specific things that I've dealt with in my self-love journey that are specific to me, but I felt like they're very common for people that I've worked with, people that that are kind of following me and sharing their thoughts and insights with me. So I definitely didn't choose obscure topics. I chose things that are very common, but you yourself might be dealing with something specifically innately for you in this moment right now as we speak. And so you have to handle it. You have to tackle it, right? So here's some comments that I think that speak to me in my life when I have witnessed that I have not had self-love or enough self-love in my life. You know, living with fear of judgment. I think as a child, that was definitely something that plagued me deeply as I was bullied, as I was dealing with gaining weight at a young age, as I was dealing with not feeling accepted in my non-diverse neighborhood and my non-diverse schools. Desire to be accepted by others. What are you willing to do to kind of be in the fold, to be that you know, get that popularity button? Was it something that plagued me? No, but it was things that bothered me, which then turned into indulgent behavior that created more issues and again reduced my level of self-love. So it was a vicious cycle. Questioning my abilities, right? You will never be the smartest person on the planet. I'm just going to break that bubble for you right there. You also might not be the prettiest. You also might not be the tallest. You also might not be the thinnest. You might not have the biggest boobs, you know, whatever. There's always someone who has more or less than you. We're just all kind of in this realm of life, not competition, but living together. And sometimes we feel like we're pinned against each other, but that's intentional if you want it to be. Otherwise, if you view everyone as kind of your sister, as your brother, there's a book that I recommend on dressingroommate.com, which I will share in the comments. It's called The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein. I refer to this book over and over again because it was really transformative. And when we're talking about self-love and self-worth, she has an interesting comment where she's talking about having a discord with someone at the airport. And the woman she's speaking to is kind of very visceral and very short and curt with her. And so what she decides to do is she decides to take a step back and remember this key statement. And you can keep this for yourself and take it onwards in your life. Remember that you are the other person. So what does that mean? Whether you're having discord or whether you're having a jolly old good time with someone, we have to treat each other with a level of respect. Because we don't know what other people are going through. We don't know what is plaguing them, what their issues are, nor does that person know the same about you. But if we can have a kind of a level of respect and generosity and kindness for each other, imagine what the world would be. Imagine how much of a better place this world would be, right? Food for thought. That's what this is all about, guys, ladies and gentlemen. Next, speaking about my challenges more than my successes, definitely have struggled with that. I'm happy to say that my self-love journey has conquered this a bit more, and I definitely see that piece, that statement, a bit more with like my clients or women that I work with, which drives me up the wall. When you're constantly bitching and moaning about things that you're struggling with, your fears, things that you feel that you suck at, instead of praising the successes, praising the things that you have to be blessed about, you want to focus on the negative. What does it do? Read The Secret, man. Law of attraction. You're only going to attract more garbage into your life. It drives me up the wall when I hear women and people do this. Next, trying to change myself for others. You can only be you, right? Like everywhere you go, you're you. You're the common denominator in your life, right? Like these are statements of facts. So you've got to be you. You've got to live your authentic self. Again, I would say that my self-love journey, thankfully, has conquered that earlier on in my journey. But for many women I work with, many women that I see down today, they're constantly trying to mold and figure out, who do I need to be for this person? How about you be yourself? And if people don't want to work with you, people don't want to deal with you, then F them, right? Like, I mean, like, life is too short not to be you. You've got to live your life, your journey, right? Like, it's statements of facts here. I'm not like Yoda. It's just, you gotta recognize kind of where you fit in your journey and what you need to do to be happy. You are responsible for your happiness. You are responsible for your self-love. That's why we're talking about this. That's why I'm deeply passionate about this. If I could sing this to the rooftops, if I was, Whitney Houston, I would, it's kind of like you have to have this serenade for yourself, because you're the most important person in your life today, tomorrow, next week, 25 years from now, like ongoing. So this is why this is important to talk about. Next, making fun of myself in order to benefit others. You know, when you have a group of friends and you start to say disparaging things about yourself, or you hear someone say that, that's something I've definitely had to work on, and it becomes very easy. I remember simple things, right? Being a bigger body in a world where fat stigma has been going on for years and years. I don't know why, since big people have been around for a long time. I'm not quite sure. But at the end of the day, we can't be like, oh, you know, looks like I haven't missed a meal too much, right? Like garbage, hurtful, nasty statements that we say about ourselves because we want to have a chuckle from someone else at our own expense. It makes no sense, and it hurts you. It doesn't make you feel good, right? It'd be different if you did negative things and negative behaviors and you're like, woohoo, like I'm killing it in this life. You're not. You go home and you cry. You go home and you dive into a carton of ice cream. Like it's bullshit. So like, call a spade, which is my phrase. If you're harmful to yourself, it doesn't feel good. If you say crappy things about yourself, it doesn't feel good. Cut it out. It's like, cut it out. Next, we have so much to talk about. Oh my God, I hope you're ready. Okay, so what is this challenge all about? So for the next 7 days, I'm going to be doing a live stream about a specific concept that I've had to tackle or I've had to deal with in my own self-love journey. And what I want you to do is to join me for the next 7 days, because when's the last time you've spent 7 straight days talking about self-love? Never me. I can't even say I have. So that's why I created this challenge, because I'm determined for 30 minutes. That's all I ask. For 30 minutes, we spend 30 minutes of our life for 7 days to just tackle a self-love issue and feel better. Think about what you're doing. Think about what you're saying and come up with solutions. Come up with ways to tackle the bullshit. And then and your part of the challenge is to watch this, chime in with your comments and questions so we can have this as a conversation. But then also, after you watch this, to go and do your own live stream, even if it's for a minute, 1 minute. You can talk about the subject I talked about for that day, or you can do your own topic that you want to talk about. And all I ask is you tag Dressing Room 8, and I can give you at the end of this my Facebook handle, the Instagram, the Twitter, so that I can see and I can champion you in your self-love journey. And then also you use the hashtag #myselflove, right? That's all I want. So that's not so hard, right? You can do this, right? So for 30 minutes of 7 days, you're going to tackle your self-love journey. And again, it can be specific to you, right? For me, today, we're going to be talking about perfection is a fiction. But if for you today, that's not something that's like resonating with you, but maybe for you today, you need to deal with like body appearance, right? Like accepting the person you see in the mirror. Cool. Do that. You live stream for as long as you want. Do it a minute, do 30 minutes, do it an hour, however you want to live stream for. And again, tag Dressing Room 8 so that I can champion you in your journey, and then use the hashtag #myselflove. So I can go on the hashtag on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and I can check and I can be like, yes, because I want to serve you on your journey. You're giving me your time, baby, it works both ways. You've given me your time, I have to give you my time. And I want us to tackle this together. We deserve to feel loved and powerful and capable every single day of our lives. There's no reason for this nonsense of, oh, I'll tackle my self-love issues next year. Chick, you better get your life. It's the perfect time to handle self-love, right? Issues is now. How about that? How about them apples, right? We have to stop putting ourselves second. We are our number one priority every single day that we are alive. You understand me? I'm going to say that one more time. Every time you wake up, you need to think about what you need, what the intentions are for your day, what you want out of life every single day. That is how you succeed at winning. That's how you succeed at living your best life. Putting you as priority number 2, as priority number 7, as priority number 20 makes you feel like shit. It's time for a redo. Enough. And I don't care if you're 5 and you're watching this, and technically you can't be because, you know, there's Facebook rules, but I digress. But if you're 13, or you're 23, or you're 45, or you're 79, or you're 82, or you're 104, God bless you for whatever age you are. The self-love has no age limit, has no timeline as to when you have to accomplish your journey. It's a journey, not a destination. So what does that mean? It means it's something we have to work at every single day. The same way that you show up for your job, the same way that you show up for your kids, the same way you show up for your relationship. Guess what? Are you showing up for you? Are you showing up for the love and the nurturing that you need? Because if not, hey, let's do it. Let's do it together. So that's what this challenge is all about. I hope that that resonates with you. I hope that that's something that inspires you and makes you feel good, because I'm like getting super amped. I'm like, yes, this is so awesome. I'm so excited because I've never done this. I've never talked for 7 days on one specific concept in application to my life. And guess what? Self-love is hella important. Do you know why it's hella important? Because if we don't have self-love, what are we going to be doing? Making bad decisions about ourselves, making bad decisions in our business, making bad decisions in our relationship, making bad decisions in school, right? It's attached to everything. I was speaking with Alexandra Abuz from my radio show, 90.3 WHBC, Our Voices. And she said to me, ultimately, that, you know, your life is an extension of what it is, what you think it is in your mind. So imagine this. If you don't have high levels of self-love and self-worth and self-respect, what type of life do you think you're living? Are you living your best life? I highly doubt it. So the more that we can rise, the more that we can escalate how we feel about ourselves, how we nurture ourselves, how we love ourselves. Do you not see how that's going to like have a triple down effect into your life? And you're going to start to receive more opportunities. You're going to be perceived in a new way. People will be attracted to want to work with you, to want to spend time with you, to want to treat you in the way that you deserve, that you require. That's why self-love is hella important. Okay, now with that, like I said, I'll give you all the tags and stuff at the end so I can comment that. I don't want to waste time doing that. What is this whole issue with perfection is a fiction, right? Like that's a common phrase. I've put out content about this. You know, ultimately, there are a couple of facts that we all know. We all know that there's no such thing as perfection. And if you don't know, please type that in the comments. I want to know that you in your entire life have never heard that perfection is a fiction, because it's common knowledge to me. But again, I'm not Yoda. I don't know everything. So let me know. Most people know that this is true. Most people accept it, yet there's something that's going on that's very funny. We're all chasing after the pursuit of perfection. Why is this the case? Why do people want to look perfect on their wedding day? Why do people want to lose weight to become an ideal weight? Why do people want to gain weight to become an ideal weight? Why do people want to fill in the blank? We're constantly working on something, but not to just say we're working on something, but it then becomes equated with this idea, this concept of perfection. It's truly disturbing, because why? People are harming themselves. People are sometimes killing themselves. People are sometimes harming other people in this process. It's not a kind of fluff kind of thing that's happening in our life, that there's real physical impact. If someone is obsessed with body image or body weight and they feel they need to be 100 pounds and they happen to be 150 pounds, I'm just throwing out numbers, by shedding 50 pounds in a reasonable time, if that's physically capable for them, cool. But that's usually not the case that we hear about, right? We usually hear about the girl who starved or the woman who starved, and then she went to the gym 3 times a day, and then she lost the 50 pounds in like 2 months instead of losing it in like the year or whatever, and then she then collapsed, or she, you know, and so it's like, what what are we willing to do, and what is it really costing us by pursuing this perfection concept, right? And so what's the solution? What's the cure? 2 words. Stop it. Cut it out is 3 words. Just stop. We have to stop. Now you say, Natasha, all right. We get it, right? But like, How do we do this? Of course, that's why we're here. We're not just gonna talk fluff and thing. No, we have to have solutions, right? That's how you really tackle something. So solutions. Here are my tips. Dressing room 8 tips. 8 because 8 is a powerful number, and I always like to give you guys 8 if I can. So first and foremost, daily acceptance. I think that has gone a long way in my own journey of self-love, which is whatever your self-love issues that you're dealing with, you have to come to accept that it's a challenge for you, right? Do you like how you look? Do you like what's going on in your body? Do you like what's going on in your world? Do you like what's going on in your career? Whatever the challenge is in connection to self-love and whatever is causing you to not love yourself enough or harm yourself and take away from self-love, you've got to accept that you're having this struggle. That's the first thing, right? Because then step 2 would be creating a daily practice of success to tackle that. So for me, perfection was an issue that I struggled with as a child, as well as an adult. As a child, it was all about getting 100, getting 102 on an exam. It was about trying to go after, wanting to be a certain way. But as a child, I really wasn't committed to a health and fitness journey. So it was really vicious because I would say, oh, I need to be this weight. This is what the doctor told me I needed to be. And then I wouldn't do anything. And then I would get depressed about it or upset about it. And then I would just eat and indulge and not move my body and not have healthy living practices. And then what? It turned into this whole continuous thing that didn't get better until I got older. And I realized enough is enough. I struggle with not being committed to a journey that I need to feel good. It makes me feel better when I move my body, right? I can't speak for everyone, but for me, it makes me feel better. Even though it hurts like hell, I feel better. I feel stronger. So that was something that I was dealing with. Also, I would say as an adult, right, is perfection. If I didn't release this idea of everything being perfect, imagine you do a video and the dog barks or the video cuts out. All these things as a content creator, is it perfect? You have to drop it because you create stress, you create anxiety, you create this feeling like everything you do, nothing's good enough. Oh my God, will they like it? We cannot live for likes. We cannot live for comments. We cannot live for the analytics Google tells us, the analytics our website tell us, right? We've got to live for us, and the things that we do are a reflection of how dope we are, but you cannot be kind of tied to numbers and things like that. So those were things that I was working through. So what are my daily practices of success? First, journaling, writing out my thoughts. That ability allows me to kind of think about what's going on in my head, what's kind of rattling on there, put it down on paper. I'm old school. I like to write. Some people like to type. Do your thing. It's one practice of success that I do. Listen to podcasts. I'm a podcaster myself, so I like to listen to Gary Vaynerchuk. I like to listen to Joyce Meyer. I like to listen to Stephen Furtick. I like to listen to Entrepreneurs on Fire, the EOF podcast. I listen to various podcasts because they tackle subjects where if I'm looking to be better in my business, I'm looking to be a better content creator, then guess what? I want to be listening and understanding what's going on in my market, what's going on in the world. So those journaling, listening to podcasts, also having a lifestyle choice that works with my body, works with who I am and what I need. Moving my body. Maybe I can't run a mile yet, but you know what? I can walk the block, right? Maybe I can't lift 20 pounds, but maybe I can lift 10 pounds, right? Figuring out what works for you and then setting goals for yourself and working towards them each and every day. Another self-love kind of practice I do is for practice of success is I definitely like to include my journey on social media so that I know that I'm not alone, that I'm encouraging other people to talk about this stuff, to kind of join the conversation. Those are some of my daily practices of success. You've got to figure out what you want to do, and if you have questions about that, put them in the comments. I'm happy to give suggestions and tips like that. So first one, daily acceptance. Second, daily practice of success. Third, embrace the suck. Will everything you do always be successful? Nope. Will everything you do always land? Nope. The more that you get comfortable with the uncomfortable, the more that you get comfortable with things that suck, things that don't go right, the more that you can see the humor in it, the more that you can learn from those circumstances, the more that you can recognize there's a reason why that happened. But if you're too busy trying to make everything perfect, you're going to drive yourself crazy, because guess what? It's never going to happen. Perfection is a fiction, doesn't exist. You can't chase after something that doesn't exist. You can try, right? And you can spend your life doing that, but you will see at the end, you know what, gosh darn it, that was a waste of goddamn time. Yes, it was. Don't waste time. It's the most important, valuable asset you have. Don't do that. Next, absorb motivation over and over again. So what I like about resources and the age of the internet is that we have access to things, right? When people say to me, and I hear this very frequently, you might disagree and say, no, Tasha, you don't hear that. I'm telling you, like, 100%, I'm not lying. People say to me, it's 2018, I don't know how to get started. I don't know how to, and I literally want to pull my hair. I just want to, like, literally go like this and say, what do you mean? What do you mean? It's 2018. Have you heard of Google? Have you heard of a library? Have you heard of, like, thought leaders? Are you freaking kidding me? Like, are you kidding me right now? No, there's no time for that. And I'm not shaming you. Listen, I'm not shaming you. But what I am saying is, like, get a grip. You didn't want to get started, so you never looked it up. So now don't sit here and tell me that you didn't know how to do it, because that's bullshit. That's straight bull, and you know it. You didn't want to, you weren't ready, ... fill in the blank, rationalize how you see fit. But, like, if you want to do something, there's tons of motivation, there's tons of inspiration, there's tons of resources out there. It's up to you to go out and absorb them and watch something. If you need to watch this 10 times before you get started on something, that's for you. I don't need to know that. That's cool, like, whatever. But the point is, absorb. I absorb positivity every single day so that I don't allow the negativity to creep in, because we all have an inner hater. We all have an inner bully, an inner biatch who's just like, you can't do it, ... right? Like, she will say the nastiest things to you. Nasty, man. Like, awful. It is up to you to shut her ass down. Why? You listen to positive things. You join conversations like this, and you don't allow her to attack you and allow her to get in your way, because you control that. You control what you're doing. And so don't sit here and say you don't know how to stop feeling bad. Don't sit here and say you don't know how to start this book, start this business, start, like, you know what I mean? Like, enough. Call a spade a spade. You were too lazy. You didn't want to make time. ... Get your life. Don't do it alone. Really, don't do this alone. For me, the biggest supporter I have in my life is my husband. I'm grateful for him. He is my heart. If a soul could be cut in two, it would be me and my love, Khalil, and co-host of Woken Free, you know. And so I never feel alone, and I'm truly grateful and blessed and pleased. Thank you, Khalil, as he watches here now, right? Like, always supporting me, my heart and soul. I could, if I talk more, I'll cry about him. But just you've got to find your support team, whether it's a lover, whether it's a partner, whether it's your mom, whether it's your cousin, whether it's a stranger, maybe it's someone across the world, but you've got to build yourself a support tribe so that you don't do this stuff alone. Self-love is a journey, not a destination. What does that mean? You can take people on a journey with you, right? We can all talk about, like, today I'm talking about perfection. You might be dealing with body image. You might be dealing with a deficiency at work. You know what I mean? Like, we all have our things that we're dealing with, and it attacks our self-love. It attacks how we feel about ourselves. But the point is, don't keep it to yourself. You're not an island out in the middle of nowhere. You're a human being. There's billions of us on the planet. We all give a damn. I mean, I know people try to make it seem like we don't. People give a damn. They do. There are more people who care than don't care, right? And the callous people that don't care, the few times we see it, it's because our news is biased and it's bullshit. You know that. You know that. That's not a revelation. But don't do this crap alone, right? Bring people along. You deserve to feel loved, powerful, capable every single day in your life. Come on, build a team, and do it together. Make this day one of you saying, you know what? I'm tired of talking crap about myself. I'm tired of not doing what I set out to do in this world. Make today day one. It's day one of this challenge, and it's day one of your journey. Cut the bull. Do what you want to do in this world. And cut out the triggers. So for me, a big trigger for like making me question how I feel and all this stuff were definitely negative people. So whether these were people who I classified as friends, whether these people I'm related to, whether these people are just like people on the internet, whatever. Like, you've got to figure out what are your triggers. If it's magazines, if it's certain blogs, if it's certain websites and stuff like that, like, figure it out so that you can cut it out, cut out the trigger, and keep it moving. No excuses. Next, also on this journey, you're going to want to figure out like what you need, right? Certain things motivate people. Certain behaviors motivate you more than others. Like, some people might say they prefer watching something. So like Goalcast is like a really great resource. I see their videos on Facebook. Every time I watch them, I'm like, yes, like, you know what? You better stop it. So you have to figure out what's better. Are you more visual? Are you more auditory? Maybe you're like, Natasha, I don't have time to watch videos. I have to travel, da, 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 da. Cool, boo. Cool. If you need to listen, then pick a 10 podcasts you need to listen to and listen to them all day, right? Like, figure out what your specific kind of daily practice will be and what are the best ways to motivate you. So maybe you started watching videos and you were like, you know what, this shit is pissing me off. Don't stop the journey, just change change your route, right? Like, change how you go about things. And then lastly, document, invite the world. And thanks for the heart, the love, Lorraine. I love that. Document, right? I think that's the biggest thing, because a lot of times our emotions will trick us and we'll be like, oh, I tried this and it didn't work. Did it though? Did it really though? Because because if you started documenting, you're like, oh wow, I felt good today. Oh, tomorrow was challenging. No, the next day I felt good. You can't go back on yourself and be like, oh, I did this, it didn't work, because you'll have proof. You'll have the proof of like what worked, what didn't work. So document, right? Whether it's posting on social media, whether it's in a journal, whether it's on your computer, iPhone, iPad, whatever the device. There's too many to mention. Ugh. Really. But just document. So again, 8 ways to defeating perfection is a fiction kind of symptoms. 1, daily acceptance of whatever challenges you're dealing with. Number 2, daily practices of success. 3, embrace the suck, because there are things that suck. It's going to happen. 4, absorb the motivation over and over and over again. 5, don't do it alone. 6, cut out the triggers. 7, learn what makes you succeed, what like really fuels you on your journey. And then 8, document. So yeah, 6, 7, 8, yeah. Gotcha. So now what, right? So now we're over. Okay. So now essentially you've watched this live stream. Now it's up to part 2 for you for today is for you to go and do your own live. Like I said, whether you live for a minute, whether you live for 30 minutes, whether you live for an hour, that's up to you. And if you can't live and like, you know, whatever, just post a video. That's fine. But the point is, talk about your self-love journey for day 1 today. What is one thing that you need to talk about that will help you conquer what is getting in your own way of feeling loved, capable, and powerful every single day? Thanks for the love, Khalil. And then tag Dressing Roommate. Tag us, and use the hashtag #myselflove. Okay? So with that, I think all we have to do is say thank you for joining day 1. I'm really, really excited for everyone who joined the live and everyone who participated. Hugs and kisses. You guys, you make my life worthwhile. It's awesome. And then what do I need you to do? Come back day 2 for tomorrow. Okay. So if you want to know what I'm talking about, on the Dressing Roommate Facebook page, which is facebook.com/dr8fashion, you'll see the lineup on the event. You can RSVP if you like, and you'll see what day 2 I'm talking about. If you want to know, go there, but I will include the link. If you want to get in touch with me, you want to learn more about some of the content I'm working on, go to dressingroom8.com. I'll include that. And with that, have a blessed night. Come back for day 2. I can't wait. You're awesome. Thank you so much. See you soon. Bye.